Hello, and welcome to Paul and Lynn's Isle of Man Tour 2015 Part 36. Right, so we're just leaving Tynwald 1 on Church Street here. I'm going to call up the garage and fill up with petrol. And didn't fill up that many times, so it weren't too bad. I don't think he knows which side of the road to drive on. Anyway, there we are. Now we're off today to visit two places of interest. The first one is the Sound and the Calf of Man, and also there's a little bit of land between the main Isle of Man and the Calf of Man, and it's called Kitterland. That's Kitterland, Kitterland. So I don't know how it got its name, I'll have to look it up. And the Calf of Man, as you'll see when we get to the Sound, is actually a bird sanctuary. Shut that damn dog out. It's actually a bird sanctuary, protected, so that's really good. And from there you see the occasional seal, dolphin, and the basking sharks are quite common around the Isle of Man. So if you're lucky, you can see these wonderful mammals. Right, so we're as it just said, we're just coming into Port St Mary, or on the road to Port St Mary, but we'll be leaving this road just shortly up here and turning right and going over to, as I said, the Sound. Now at the Sound, we were there in 1985. You'll see a photograph that we took back then, next to one that was taken this year. So you'll see that. But since then, they built this wonderful sort of like a restaurant come sort of gift shop, right facing or overlooking the Sound. And there are some people that think that's a bit of a monstrosity, and basically it's a glass fronted building which gives you a 180-degree view of the Sound and the Calf of Man. And whilst it might look ultra modern, built into the land, it's not like, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb to us anyway. But I think it'll bring much needed money into the area from tourists. Coach trips, you'll see coaches dropping off passengers, and there's some money to be made there. So from Lynn and me, got the thumbs up, because if the weather's really bad, you can sit in there and look through this wonderful huge window. It's got a tint to it, so you're not getting blinded by the sun, so it'll be kept reasonably cool. It's probably air conditioned as well, the building, and they have free Wi-Fi, so it got the definite thumbs up from Lynn and me. So there. So we had a bit of a walk along the Sound, and took some photographs. You'll see them when we get there, and had a bite to eat. Well, I just had a hot chocolate. Lynn had a hot chocolate and a lovely scone. And the hot chocolate, as you'll see, the photograph of it, it had the 3 legs on the top of the hot chocolate, in chocolate in the shape of 3 legs. So that was really a nice touch. So we're coming towards the village of Cregneash. Now on the next part 37, we'll actually have a look round Cregneash. So please look at that one. Lovely working museum. It's a village, working. A lot of history there. I'm sure if you look it up, Cregneash, that's Cregneash, Cregneash. And as I said, there's a lot of history there. There's quite a bit of stuff on the internet about it. So have a look. Right, well, we'll have a spot of music, and then when the photographs come on, I'll be back to tell you what's what. Okay, bye for now. Right, so here we are at the Sound. Now that's the Thusler Cross. Again, there's a photograph of the plaque with some information on. I'd advise you to press pause on your computer or your smart TV if you want to read it. There's Lynn with the Thusler Cross. That says both. As I say, if you look in the background, you'll see the visitor centre at the Sound. That's a Calf of Man, and before it is Kitterland. There you are, that's Sylvie up there, and that's that visitor centre I was telling you about. So we're going for a bit of a walk now. That's zooming in on the Calf of Man. There used to be, I believe, one man that lived on that island, on the Calf. A farmer, I believe. I might be wrong. If someone corrects me, please do so. That's a distant view. As you can see, those currents in the sea there, really vicious currents. You wouldn't want to go in there. Cross currents. It's a beautiful day. It's probably around about 12, 13, maybe 14 degrees, so not too cold. Bit breezy, but you know, you're at the sea there, aren't you? So you can't expect anything else. Don't do it, Paul. Don't jump. It's not worth it. Now over there, in the distance, is the top of Milner Tower on Bradder Head in Port Erin. That's round the other side. You can see the Calf of Man from Bradder Head, as you'll see when we get up there. And go for a walk up there, so that's something to look forward to. It's a lovely walk. And that's the guy that took our photograph. Just coming up shortly. He was very kind and took our photograph together. There's Lynn. So we could have walked all the way around there, you know, but you're limited for time, and I think the rain was forecast that afternoon, so, and it did indeed start raining. Didn't do a lot. But to think, you know, that I was there 40 years ago with my family, and you think, well, things change, but those rocks certainly don't. There's Lynn gone up in the world, and I have. Taking photographs, I think. You can see those currents in the sea, can't you? There's Sylvie. They've made it nice. They really have. They made it really touristy. Now then, that's the hot chocolate. You can see the 3 legs of man and the scone. Now then, there's the helmets on the Thusler Cross, and you'll see this one in 1985 coming up. Certainly no cameras on my helmet in that year. Orlin. There we go. And that's our bike at the top, our CM200. So they've obviously painted it. No rust marks on it. Now that's the plaque to commemorate an act of heroism by men of this parish. The rescue of the crew of the French schooner, whatever it was called, 1858 I think it were. Yes, 1858. There's the Calf of Man and Kitterland from the sound from the visitor centre. There's Lynn taking photographs with her phone. I guess that's a ferry going to Dublin, I guess. I would imagine it's either Belfast to Dublin. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed those. See you on part 37. Bye for now.